WCBI Sunrise Saturday starts now.
All right, look at that shot. Good morning, friends. I'm Allie Martin.
And I'm Charlie Goldstein.
Good to have you here, Mr. Charlie. I don't know if y'all can see, but Charlie has lightning bolts on his tie. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's great for a weather guy. Well, it is time for Sunrise Saturday. Today is January the 4th. This is the first Sunrise Saturday of 2025. We're counting down instead of Christmas because it was kind of, depressing to look at how many days until Christmas. Valentine's Day. There are only 41 more days until Valentine's Day. So guys, start your planning. You have no excuse. Valentine's Day is also, Charlie, it's my anniversary with my lovely wife. So if I forget that, I'm really dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I have no excuse.
College baseball starts then too.
That's right. See, there you go. College baseball, but I've got to put that anniversary above the college baseball for sure. I'll get in all kinds of trouble. Those guys over there at Skyfall, they understand that, the ones who are married. There are some other holidays observed on this date you might not know about. January 4th is National Can Do Day. I like that. Every day to me is can do. You know, it's mental. You can do more than what you think. It's also National Spaghetti Day. Do you like spaghetti?
Well, I guess I know what I'm having for dinner.
Okay. Do you like the spaghetti sauce with the meat or without the meat, or just there's all kinds of sauces you can do?
Yeah, you can come up with hundreds of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And pasta's good for you, the carbs, right? It's also Trivia Day, and I was going to have a trivia question, but I forgot. So if anyone has a good trivia question, let us know about it. Well, we have a fun show ahead for you. We have guests in studio who are going to tell us about a benefit for a local motorcycle club. The Skyfall Law Enforcement Punishers, they do a lot of stuff throughout the area for folks. Also, the Clark family has a big celebration this weekend. We have some members here to tell us about that. A big show ahead, but first up, meteorologist Charlie Goldstein has a first look at your weekend weather outlook, and it was cold coming over here.
Oh, it's certainly cold, Allie. It actually looks cold outside right now. Certainly feels like it. Temperatures right now are still around freezing for most of the area, still at 28 in Corinth, 32 in Iuka, 37, Starkville, West Point, and Columbus. Around the Golden Triangle, a little cooler down towards Carthage, Philadelphia, and DeKalb. You're all at 35. Over the next few hours, we'll be slow to warm, eventually getting into the mid to upper 40s. By the time we get to lunchtime, picking up a breeze from the east-southeast at 5 miles an hour. Close to 50 is our high today in the afternoon. 51 here in Columbus. Lots of sunny skies. It will be slightly cooler than it was yesterday, and the clouds will start to increase as we get into the evening hours. We start to get that southerly wind that'll increase the moisture and give us a shower chance coming up ahead tonight. And again, as far as today goes, a little bit cooler than yesterday. Nice and sunny. We'll start to build up those clouds, and like I mentioned, here we go, the shower chance will come up tonight. Allie?
All right, I like the colder weather. Well, looking at some news now, the Golden Triangle Regional Homeless Coalition received new additions they think will make a big difference. The coalition received 3 new tiny homes, which gives them now a total of 4. The first one was delivered back in April. Those homes will be free housing for those who need a little bit of extra help. The Homeless Coalition coordinator of the Fresh Start community, Sandra Dupree, says these new homes will make a significant impact for people all throughout the community.
The objective of these homes is to provide a progressively independent opportunity for either families or persons who are unemployed temporarily or homeless temporarily to get on their feet. We try to help people where we can do that, but this gives us a little more of an investment in someone.
DePriest also says donations like sheetrock, insulation, flooring, and ceiling materials from the community will be a great contribution in completing the tiny home village. She also says the goal for the other 6 homes to be brought in is by spring of next year. A Northeast Mississippi couple says they're thankful to be back home after they took a trip to New Orleans to ring in 2025. I spoke with the newlyweds who recount their time of celebration in the French Quarter just before that deadly terror attack. Forrest and Grace Timmons were married in September, and for their first New Year's Eve as husband and wife, Forrest wanted Grace to experience the Big Easy.
Grace had never been to New Orleans before, so really taking her to let her experience all of the bourbon, the French Quarter, and all that just to see what it's about.
These photos taken New Year's Eve in the French Quarter show the fun and festivities leading up to midnight.
We got to Bourbon probably 9, 10 o'clock at night and spent a couple hours on Bourbon, just at different bars, just going around seeing, just experiencing it all. And just after midnight, probably 12:30, we left Bourbon and walked to the Caesars Casino and spent a couple hours there, probably till about 2:30. And I would say about 2:45 or so, we were both hungry. So I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to walk to Canal, try to find somewhere open at 2:45 in the morning to get us some food. And I actually got to Canal, walked down Canal for a little bit and was like, okay, it's 3 a.m. Nobody's open besides the bar. So I actually was on Canal and turned around about 3 o'clock and walked back to our hotel.
Moments later, a truck driven by 42-year-old Shamsun Din Jabbar plowed through the crowds on Bourbon Street, killing 14 and injuring more than 30. Forrest and Grace weren't aware of the attack until they started getting text messages from friends and loved ones.
Our phones were blowing up early that morning and we didn't know. I mean, we were half asleep. We didn't know what was going on. And we woke up to, a bunch of texts from our friends and family just asking if we were okay and, what had happened.
Forrest and Grace ventured back outside and saw a very different French Quarter.
Prior to what happened, New Orleans, everybody was in good spirits. Everybody was having a good time. And then after that, we had went kind of in the French Quarter area that day. And you could just tell, people, it was just an eerie kind of feeling being at the same place, where everything occurred just the night before, and the shift in people's mood.
Both Forrest and Grace say they appreciate law enforcement and first responders who are working the case, and they're looking forward to a return trip to New Orleans. They also say it's important to remember the victims.
Just praying for the victims and the families and everybody involved, just keeping them in our thoughts and prayers, and for healing and comfort the best they can, because I know a lot of the victims were people our age, very young people, so it's hard on the family for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Telling your story in Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News. So glad they're okay. We need to certainly be vigilant as a nation. Walking or riding a bike is not only good exercise, it's also inexpensive transportation. That's why the Columbus Police Department launched Bright Steps, a community-driven initiative to improve pedestrian safety and honor the memory of pedestrians killed while walking on the street. Community liaison Glenda Richardson says recently a man was killed after being hit by a vehicle at night, and they wanted to do something to try and prevent something like that from happening again.
A lot of times at night, vehicles are not able to see you when you're walking with dark clothing on. And so we've had a couple of people here to die in Columbus, and we just want to make sure that all of our citizens are safe. And just think about it, if your car breaks down at night, you may not think about having reflective clothing on. Just being made aware if something were to happen, you have something in your vehicle that will reflect safety, so you're not getting ran over while you're changing a tire or stopping to pick someone up.
You can pick up a reflector at the Columbus Police Department. For more information about that initiative or to get involved, you can contact Glenda Richardson, the number 662-364-1850 right there on your screen. Mississippi lawmakers head back to Jackson next week, and over the next few months, the state Senate and House of Representatives will pass laws affecting Mississippians. Our Charity Johnson spoke with city and state leaders about what to expect.
The Mississippi legislature will begin meeting in Jackson for its 2025 session on January 7th. Tax cuts, both sale and income, are expected to be on the agenda. I spoke with Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves recently about the issue.
We need to lower the income tax in Mississippi. I support eliminating the income tax. I call it the tax on work. And so if you're paying income taxes in Mississippi and you think you ought to pay less, then you need to talk to your legislator and say, hey, why don't y'all eliminate the income tax?
District 41 State Representative Kabir Kareem will also be attending the legislative session. He also shared his thoughts on tax cuts.
There's a lot of conversation about which one is better and how do we fulfill those voids once the revenue is gone. The devil's in the details, and we got to find out what is going to be beneficial to the people of Mississippi.
A decrease in sales tax will have a direct impact on your grocery bill, but it will also have an impact on city budgets.
The municipalities in the state of Mississippi rely heavily on that sales tax, and so it is incredibly concerning to us that they might reduce that. And how will we make that up?
Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill says the city uses its portion of sales tax to pay for many of the things city residents rely on.
We provide services to our community that are incredibly important, and those come to our general fund. Those sales tax dollars come to our general fund, and we rely on them to continue to provide those services at a level that our citizens expect.
Spruill says she will continue to voice her concerns to lawmakers. Telling your story in Northeast Mississippi, Charity Johnson, WCBI News.
Lawmakers will gavel in on Monday. The legislative session is set to run until April. We're going to have more news right after the break with some special guests. Don't go anywhere. Saturday, I have with me Redline. You're from the Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, and y'all have an event coming up next weekend, 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Tell us about it.
That's correct. It'll be our 1 year anniversary in Tupelo. We'll be out at Tom Begbie State Park, cooking, having a good time, fellowship and friendship with all the guys and whoever comes out and supports us.
Right, and last time y'all were on was one of the coolest photo ops we had. The last minute, we actually had one of y'all's bikes in here in the studio, and that was really neat. Some of the higher ups didn't, but it looked really cool. And of course, y'all are professionals. Y'all are all law enforcement, military, so y'all are all squared away and geared up and everything. So tell us what the motorcycle club does. Y'all do a lot for the area. You've only been around 1 year, but you've done a lot for the area. Tell us some of the things y'all do.
Yes, our chapter's been around 1 year. The club's been around 25 years.
Okay.
We've got chapters all around. We're 501c3. We do things for homeless missions, children's homes. We do rides for cancer, rides for fallen brothers and sisters. We support Wives of Warriors. That was a big one we did.
Right, okay.
We did Reconnect for Autism. Each chapter has kind of their own thing, and of course with us today we've got people from all around the state and Alabama too that each have different charities that they work for. And you know, the main thing is if people see us out, you know, come out and join us and hang out and kind of see what we're doing and what we're about, and you know, look for ways to include us in events to help out.
Right, and most of y'all are law enforcement or military or former military. Just a way of getting together, and like you said, you know, of course I'm a deputy now over in Monroe County, and all the law enforcement people I know, they get in it to help people. Yes. And this is an extension of that. This is why, of course, y'all have, you know, a good time, get to fellowship and everything. You have to have a bike to be in it, right? So even though I'm law enforcement, I still, to be part of you guys, I would need to get a bike, right?
That's correct, yes. And it is law enforcement, it's military, and it's EMS, and it's fire, and
it's first responders.
It's like-minded. You know, we're not secluded just to those, but we do have like-minded people.
Right, because yeah, I mean, it's a tight-knit group. It is brotherhood and sisterhood. Unless you really have been in or in the training, I mean, and I'm still learning. You guys, a lot of you have forgotten more than I'll ever learn. But still, I mean, it is a calling. You know, you were in the military. Tell us about your military service.
I was just in the Guard.
Okay.
So we've got people here that, you know, have went to Iraq, been overseas. We've got law enforcement officers here. I do ambulance and EMS part-time. So, you know, we've just got a mixture of everyone in and out through the clubs.
Right, and you have a minor injury, but you're going to be eventually in the Monroe County part-time academy.
Yes,
Lord willing, maybe next year, right?
Yeah, I tore my Achilles actually right at Thanksgiving, so I was preparing for the Monroe County part-time academy. And
right, well, it's hard. I mean, but it's supposed to be hard, so that's good. But you would do good being for military. So if somebody's watching this, they want to get involved, what do they need to do?
Just reach out. I mean, we've all got Facebooks throughout our groups around here. Search Punishers on Facebook. You can go to Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club on Google. We've got a website. Check us out and look for ways to come out and hang out and help support and do things to help our community. Our worldwide motto is in service to others. So.
Right. The group overall has been around for 20-something years, but locally y'all started a year ago and always looking for more folks to join up.
Yes, that's correct.
Very good, awesome. Well, thank y'all for what y'all do, and I know it was too cold to ride the bikes today, I guess, but maybe next time we can get you all out in the parking lot and we can maybe have me, maybe by then I'll have a bike. Who knows, if my wife will let me.
We need to get you one, yes.
Okay, yeah, I've got the badge, just need the bike.
Yep.
Very good. All right, well, thank you so much for being with this Red Line. We're gonna have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
WCBI First Alert Forecast with Charlie Goldstein.
Back, folks. The time now is 9:21. We've got a relatively nice and mild day on the way. 51's our high here in Columbus. Should see a lot of sunshine through the beginning part of the day and into the afternoon. We will start to see some clouds build and we'll start to have a shower chance, and that chance will continue into Sunday where we have a severe risk with a high of 63. Like I mentioned yesterday, anytime we see temperatures back in the 60s in January, it raises some concerns, and we certainly have them for tomorrow. The majority of our area, including the Golden Triangle up to Tupelo, west towards Oxford and down through Philadelphia, is in a level 2 out of 5 risk. And then off towards the west, Carroll, Grenada, Montgomery, and Attala, and a little sliver of Leake counties are in a level 3 out of 5 risk for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and track that out for you today. High pressure back behind me starts to move off. That allows southerly flow to return, and that's going to increase the moisture into the region and give us that rain chance overnight. You start to see this blue building in. That's instability. That's just thunderstorm fuel. And the reason we have that new 3 out of 5 risk is because we're starting to get an enhanced area of some of that instability, and that's why it's further west and south of us. You see back over our region, the limiting factor is that instability. It's not as strong, and that line should start to cross the Mississippi sometime early on Sunday afternoon, getting close to our area just before dinner time, starting to get towards the Golden Triangle region in somewhere within the 6 to 9 p.m. time frame. And it's going to have the structure of a line, and you see these little kinks. We're going to have to watch those areas very closely for some embedded circulation, but the main risk tomorrow is going to be winds, and you can see that's very far out of our area by the time we start the day on Monday morning. So again, the big risk for this is the wind, not necessarily the tornado risk, although there could be a chance something could develop ahead of the line, and that would be something we're concerned about in regards to tornadoes. And one thing I do also want to mention is very, very early in the morning on Monday, there could be a little bit of a risk of a flurry. So again, here's the tornado risk. Anywhere in brown, a 5% risk. Anywhere in green, a 2% risk. The bigger risk is the wind risk. You can see a 10% chance for the majority of our area, and then a 30% chance of at least a 60-mile-an-hour gust within 25 miles of a point. And that cold air is on the way, folks. It's going to come really quickly, and it's going to get really, really windy for us next week. Nice today. Storms come in tomorrow. Monday, much, much colder, a 30-degree drop. We stay cold and sunny for the beginning of next week.
All right, friends, welcome back to Sunrise Saturday. Allie Martin here with Blake Lamb. Coming up next week at the Elvis Presley Birthplace and Museum, what would have been Elvis's 90th birthday will be celebrated here. Tell us about birthday celebrations coming up. Each one is special, but every 10 years, it's a really big deal. What are y'all going to be doing?
Yes, we are going to have 2 free concerts that day, one at 12 and one at 2:30. The first one at 12 is Brandon Bennett, who was just on the Visit Mississippi Rose Bowl float in the Rose Bowl parade.
I saw that in the Facebook stuff. Yeah, I mean, Elvis represented at the Rose Bowl parade.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then we have Nick Perkins, who will be taking the stage at 2:30. We also
from Louisiana, I think,
yes,
right? He's really
yes.
good.
Then we will also have our birthday celebration starting at 1:30 with a very big surprise for everybody that's here.
You don't want to miss that.
No, not at all. That is something we've been working on for almost 3 years.
It's going to be really nice. And y'all already have the here in the theater set up for the birthday celebrations. Tell us why it's important, especially every 10 years. You know, it's hard to believe that Elvis would have been 90 years old and born in that little shotgun shack right out here. Tell us why it's important to keep celebrating this.
It's very important to celebrate it for the fans. We have fans from all over the world. I know we have 200 British that will be here on the 8th.
Okay. Elvis is big in Britain. He's big all over the world, but
he's big overseas. And to never have toured overseas, he is just phenomenal and loved overseas.
Right, right. Yeah, and like you say, the fans really like this. I know that the Graceland bus comes here every Friday. To really get the whole story of Elvis, you really need to come to the birthplace, don't you?
You need to see the humble beginnings of where he come from.
Absolutely. So this coming Wednesday, January 8th, a full day of celebrations and concerts. And these ETAs y'all have here are really, really good. They've all been here before, and folks are going to be in for a big treat, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great treat. You can start getting tickets at 9 o'clock. Okay. It's first come, first serve. And we will also have Betty Harper here all day.
Okay, yeah, she's the artist.
Elvis artist.
Yes. In the Elvis world, I mean, you think of Betty Harper and her art, you think of the 68 special, and she's done so many just iconic, taken those photos and made them into some great art. Also, I understand y'all have a special shirt. Was that right?
Yes. We have a 90th birthday shirt that will go on sale that day that Betty did the artwork for as well.
Okay.
She does a lot of T-shirt artwork for us here at the birthplace.
Yeah, she is very well known. So folks can come out here this coming Wednesday. You're going to have a lot of people here. You said a big group from Great Britain. Folks will be coming from other parts of the country, and they can start getting tickets again. Just go over the times and everything.
All right, you can start getting your concert tickets at 9 o'clock. The first concert is Brendan Bennett at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Nick Perkins will be at 2:30, and our program and birthday celebration will be at 1:30, and the unveiling of the big surprise.
And you also will have cake. Y'all always have cake.
We've got 300 cupcakes and I think 300 cookies ordered.
This coming Wednesday, come out here, start getting your tickets at 9 o'clock. Be sure and plan for a full day. We will be out here. That's going to be our main coverage on Wednesday, Elvis's 90th birthday celebrations. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you all for watching. Be sure and stay with us. We have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break.
Back, folks, again, we have a severe risk for Sunday. Most of the area in a level 2 out of 5 risk. Carroll, Grenada, Montgomery, Attala, and a little bit of Leake counties do extend into the level 3 out of 5 risk. The biggest risk is not for tornadoes as far as this week goes. For this system, the bigger risk for this is wind damage. And outside of the thunderstorms tomorrow, we could be seeing gusts up to 30 miles an hour just because of the pressure gradient, because of how strong the storm system is. And within the thunderstorms, we could be seeing gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour. And again, the tornado risk isn't as strong, but it is still considerable. So certainly want to keep an eye out and tuned in for that.
Great. And I know y'all will keep us updated on TV and online. And like we said last week, be sure and have all those apps, have them all ready, because y'all will certainly be giving us all the information we need. Very good. All right, thank you, Charlie. We have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with Charlie Goldstein.
Back, folks. The time now is 9:36. We're warming just a little bit into the morning. 37 here in Columbus, 37 Macon and Louisville as well as in Aliceville. A little bit warmer in Philadelphia at 42, and still hanging on to the cold up in Corinth at 32 degrees. Again, we're going to be slow to warm into the afternoon before breaking into the upper 40s. Maybe some spots getting into the lower 50s, 46 around lunchtime, 48 just after at 1 p.m. And again, keeping that sunshine, it should be fairly nice through the rest of the day. We will start to see some clouds increase as we pick up that southeast breeze, starting to increase the moisture, and that's what's going to allow the clouds to increase, as well as some shower chances for tonight. We're going to start really picking up the clouds. Most of the sky should be covered. Not as cold tonight as it was last night. We're only getting down to 41 here in Columbus. I'd say widespread upper 30s and lower 40s across the area, and we will start to pick up that breeze even stronger from the southeast. 5 to 10 sustained, gusts up to 20 miles an hour. And again, the big thing we're all tracking is the severe risk coming up tomorrow. That is something you're certainly going to have to keep a strong eye on. It may not be as high end as it was last week, but it's still a very considerable threat and something we have to take seriously. Again, the biggest threat is for Carroll, Grenada, Montgomery, Kosciuszko, and Carthage on towards the south and west. Level 2 for the Golden Triangle up to Tupelo, down to Philadelphia, and then far northwestern portions of our viewing area are stuck in a level 1 out of 5 risk. Stick around, we'll have sports next.
Well, here at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, as the Ole Miss Rebels wrapped up their season, and they did it with some fireworks. Dominant fashion, a 52-20 win over Duke. As 17-point favorites, they said, how about we win by 32? Lane Kiffin and company certainly sending a message as they finished their season 10-3. But all eyes were on Jackson Dart. His final game as an Ole Miss Rebel, and you almost couldn't have scripted a better ending. He had almost 500 yards of total offense, multiple touchdowns as they continued to light up the scoreboard. We saw a ton of seniors involved. Jordan Watkins, Ulysses Bentley, all those guys ending their career in amazing fashion here at the Gator Bowl. Couldn't have asked for it any better. After the game, Lane Kiffin mentioned about the legacy that Jackson Dart will leave behind, and of course, how he ended his game on this field here in Jacksonville.
He's awesome. I hope that, said at the beginning of the year, regardless of how wins and losses go, I hope that our fans appreciate, this time frame of what's going on with Ole Miss football, but specifically this quarterback, and the all-time winningest quarterback, all-time most yards, and that's special. Place played football a long time with some really good quarterbacks, so just really hope everybody appreciate what they saw statistically in the play, but what they saw from a competitor and leader that a lot of guys wouldn't even played in the game.
Well, coming up at 6, we'll have the full highlights, more reactions, and everything Ole Miss from their 52-20 win here at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville from the 80th edition of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. But for now, from Jacksonville, I'm Bryce Broneisen, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports coverage of the Gator Bowl is brought to you by Fastnet, powered by Ford County and Monroe County Farm Bureau.
And welcome back to Sunrise Saturday. Tomorrow, a New Year's gospel celebration. Joining us now to tell us more about it, Miss Sheila Jefferson. So this is going to be in Aberdeen at the Community Center. Tell us what's going to be going on.
Well, good morning, everybody. Look, Mr. Alley, tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the Aberdeen High Street Community Center. Let me tell you, back in 1998, I was just sitting at home and I asked my father, I said, well, I was thinking about, can I have a program the first Sunday in the new year, to let people know that how God has been good to us. And so in 1999, I started this program which called the New Year Celebration. And so every year is, I did it one year, and the next year I kept on doing it. And so up until now, tomorrow, if the Lord allow, it'll be 26 years that we've been having this Gospel New Year celebration, and I'm excited. 1 year we missed because of COVID, and so, but every year it's been going stronger and stronger, and we've been having a great time. And that's at 3 o'clock at the Aberdeen High Street Community Center.
And tell us about some of the groups and the singers who will be out there. You always have a big lineup.
We do, and actually Smith Chapel Praise Team will be our, will open up the praise and worship.
Yeah, there's a
there
picture
of
some of the groups
and,
right
of course,
there.
the Clark family is going to sing, and then we have the gospel songs out of Amory. We have the Mighty Travelers out of Starksville, Mississippi. We have Genesis United, they're from Starksville. We have Apostle Alex and Revolution. They're from West Point. We have Pastor Demario Brown and Connected from Starkville, and all the way from Jackson, Tennessee. We will have Little Chris and Reunited. And of course, the Mississippi Nightingales were supposed to be with us, but you know, they had death in the family, so some of them might show up. And we're looking for my big brother from Memphis, Tennessee, to be our master of the ceremony. So we just praying that God let us have a good time, which I know that He will, because it's always been awesome.
And your brother, he is of course, you can listen to him every day on the radio.
Of course.
And I would encourage y'all to get the app. It's Pop Gospel Radio,
Pop Gospel
and
Radio.
it's really, really good and uplifting.
It is.
And if folks hadn't seen him, we've had him on the show before. He is so energetic.
That's
Is he that
my
way
brother.
all the time?
All the time. You know, when he come home for family functions, you know, he always, you know, get the family just laughing and just having a good time. So that's what he do. And so we just excited about seeing him tomorrow. So we're praying that you know, everybody's checking out the weather.
Right, absolutely.
And so we just praying to God that He will let us, you know, continue with this program.
Right, and it's such a great way, like you said, to it's such a great tradition y'all been doing now for 26 years.
Tomorrow, if the Lord allow, it'll be 26
wow,
wonderful years.
And what a great way to you know, think about the Lord's blessings the past year and to look forward to this year, to 2025, because
Amen.
As of right now, He's given us this opportunity,
Yes,
and
yes,
we don't
He
need
is.
to waste the days, do we?
And no, not exactly, not one moment. So that's what we're going to do, not just tomorrow, but just every day. Every day we give Him praise, and I just thank Him for my parents, first of all, and my siblings, and my husband. I can't leave him out, my husband. And so I thank, you know, Mr. Allen, for allowing us to be on your show.
Well, it's so uplifting, and I would really encourage folks to get out there. 3 o'clock, give us the address again. It's the Community Center.
It's 607 High Street in Aberdeen, Mississippi. And of course, you know, my beautiful mother will be, you know, have that good old food out there. So y'all come on out at 3 o'clock.
Catfish is really good.
Catfish is awesome. And caramel cake as well.
Goodness.
So we just asking everybody to come on out tomorrow, and but just listen out for the weather. But we praying that God would see us through this.
Amen. He's in charge of the weather, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
And we will be out there tomorrow, my lovely wife and I. Y'all get out there tomorrow. It will be a blessing. You'll get a blessing from it. Thank you, Miss Sheila, for being with us. We're having more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go ahead and track out this severe threat. Things are calm for today thanks to this high pressure sitting on the Alabama-Georgia border. As we go throughout the day, we'll start to see some southerly flow that will increase our shower chances and our cloud cover into the evening. Saturday at 9 p.m., we could see some scattered showers throughout the area. Continuing into Sunday morning, by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, we'll start to see this instability in the blue here start to build, and that's the reason and the primary reason we have the enhanced severe threat for tomorrow. Thunderstorms do need that instability to really thrive and survive. And you can see it does start to generate a really mean looking line starting to cross over the Mississippi River sometime early tomorrow afternoon. And you see these greens here, that's an area of some enhanced instability. That's why the increased region for our area is the further south and western counties. It should start getting close to us just before dinner time, passing through the Golden Triangle somewhere between probably 6 and 8 p.m. And again, it does look like it's going to take on this linear structure, so the main threat for this is going to be the winds, but there could be some embedded circulations. And as always, if anything can get going out ahead of the line, that's have to watch for any tornado potential. It should be out of our area just after 10 p.m. between 10 and midnight, crossing away from Alabama. And something that has been interesting over the past couple days I've seen is as the low spins, there's sometimes some moisture that can get wrapped around, and that may actually result in a couple flurries very, very early along the Mississippi-Tennessee border. But for now, the severe risk is the most pressing thing. Again, level 2 for most of the area from Columbus up through Aberdeen, Tupelo, up 45, and then from about I-55 from Grenada on south is where the biggest risk is. level 3 again. So the biggest risk is not tornadoes for this go around, but it is still a considerable threat. 5% for most of the area, 2% for the rest. And then the wind risk is really the thing we're going to have to talk about. And the reason for the wind risk is not only just for the severe thunderstorms, that's part of it, but across the whole area, it's going to be really windy going into Sunday. You can see how tightly packed these lines are. Those are isobars, or lines of equal pressure. And when they get really tightly packed like that, we call that a pressure gradient, and that's going to make it really, really windy, and it's going to get really, really cold for us quite quickly. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast, if it would pop up for me. There we go. 51 for today, 63 for Sunday. Again, that severe weather risk cooling down sharply into the beginning of next week.
Thank you, Charlie. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency continues to receive more damage reports from last weekend's tornadoes. In Clay County, 65 homes and 2 farms were damaged. That's the most of any county in the state. 120 apartments were damaged in Oktibbeha County. That also is the most in the state. 6 homes and 5 businesses also impacted by those storms in the Starkville area. The National Weather Service has confirmed 27 tornadoes touched down in the state on December 28th. Those are some preliminary numbers and could change as the assessment process continues. 23 counties reporting some type of damage to a home, business, or a farm. All right, we have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. A restaurant worker in Tupelo proves a physical disability does not define a person, and he's inspiring coworkers and customers alike. Every day, Rod Irvin arrives for work at Bulldog Burger and is guided to his spot in the kitchen by a coworker. Once Irvin is in place, his work begins.
Got my dish rack, got my plate, spraying them all.
The 49-year-old has a process he follows every shift as he washes, sanitizes, and organizes the dishes.
My routine, right, it don't change.
Irvin uses his hands to see. He has memorized where every plate and dish goes. 23 years ago, Irvin had an accident that left him blind. He made his way to Tupelo for rehabilitation as he learned to live a new normal.
It's a different world.
After completing rehab, Irvin started looking for work with help from the Mississippi Department for Rehabilitation Services. He has been on the job at Bulldog Burger for 3 years.
Yes, whatever that the kitchen asked me to do, whatever my coworkers in the kitchen ask me for to clean, that's what I do.
No matter how busy things get, Irvin works with a smile as he talks to and encourages his colleagues. Irvin says his story is proof that a physical limitation doesn't define a person.
Can't label yourself and saying what you can't do. You can do anything that you want to when you put your mind to it.
Bulldog Burger General Manager Chris Parker says Irvin is a model employee and an inspiration to everyone.
He works just as hard, if not harder, than anybody else without any sort of, hurdle to get over. He has definitely proven that he does not have a disability. He works harder than a lot of other people I've worked with in the past in that same job role. Don't ever underestimate anybody.
Irvin says he's thankful for a job and for a boss that values true diversity.
A lot of us that's blind or even deaf or in wheelchairs or artistic, we are good workers and we're willing to work with anybody. Yes.
Telling your story in Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
For through the severe threat on Sunday, it's going to get cold and cold fast. Here's a look at some future wind chills Monday morning. We're talking about wind chills in the teens, and if you remember, Sunday our highs are in the 60s, so we're going to be dropping probably somewhere close to 30 to 40 degrees between Sunday and Monday morning. You see 14 to 15 to 16 feels like Monday morning For the Golden Triangle, not warming up much by 10 a.m., still around 20. And then in the afternoon, it's still going to feel below 30. About what it felt like this morning is what it's going to feel like Monday afternoon. So it's going to be real cold out there, folks.
Wow. So have those faucets dripping, and we know you guys will keep us updated.
Yep.
Thank you for spending part of your Saturday with us. We'll see you later.